Hi everybody and welcome back to Mountain Aquatics, and this is an update on the secret fishing pond. So we're back here today doing some treatment to get rid of a lot of the sludge that's on the bottom of the pond. We're using Oase schlixx, really good stuff. It'll compact all the sludge, all the organic debris at the bottom of the pond. We'll teach you a little bit more about it. We'll go over there, we'll have a look at the tub, we'll see what Ryan's doing. He's spreading it around there. Let's go over. So this is the Oase schlixx. This is a 25 kilogram tub which will treat 500,000 litres, 500,000 litres of water. Use about 50 grams per metre squared. It's good stuff, it's expensive, it's not cheap, but it's perfect for this application. Just me today, Jamie. Ryan's off on another job, but we're back at the secret fishing lake and we're finally going to stock some fish. So it's been about 3 months since we were here last. We've used the Oase schlixx stuff to get rid of all the silt and debris at the bottom. It has made a massive difference. It's not totally cleared everything up. As a natural pond, that's never going to happen. But yeah, it's looking a lot better. The water's a lot deeper now. We did lose some water over the summer months. And that's why we've held off stocking the fish. Now we've had some wet weather, the pond has definitely filled up a lot more. There's still a lot of duckweed, as we call it, on top of the surface. You can see, hopefully, in shot, the airing, the Oase airing is still going strong over there. So, I've got this temporary holding pool set up. We are going to fill it with pond water, and then we can acclimatise the fish in here rather than floating the bag in the pond and having to add some of the pond water to the bag and stuff. It's going to float away. It's a large body of water. I don't fancy getting my waders on today unless I have to. So we're going to acclimate in this pool here with the pond water, and it also means we can get a better look at the fish. So a little bit of an update that the customers have done since we were here last, other than the Oase schlixx going in, is they've built this deck, which needs finishing off on the end there. And if you remember, the last one was not very sturdy at all and needed sorted out. Excuse the wind, it's a very windy day today. But here is the other end of the pool. As you can see, we're just getting set up there. We'll add some water in a minute. This just gives you a better view. The Oase air pump still going strong, of course it is, very well built. Yeah, this will be a lovely spot in a few years to fish from. Okay, so what I'm actually doing here, a little bit different to what we'd normally do. So we do have a submersible pump, very powerful pump, around 15,000 litres an hour, I think the one we got at the minute. But that's just going to pump a lot of sludge from the bottom and these leaves and things that are falling off the trees, and probably clog up the pump as well anyway. And we want as clean water as we can get in here for the fish when they first go in, because they're coming out of clean water. So I've got the pond vac inside the pond. Pond's on a bit of a slant, so I'm going to put the pondervac in. I'm going to put the pondervac in as if we are cleaning the pond, only the water that comes out of it is going to be going into the temporary holding pool. So, very easy. This is a pondervac 4. Now, a pondervac 5, we wouldn't have this issue of having to put the vac in the pond because the outward pump, the outflow, will run uphill. Whereas the pondervac 4, the older one, will only pump on the same level. So if you're struggling with your pondervac 4, that's why. So, we'll put the clear one on, and we will put on this one, which is really for doing the bottom of the pond and stuff, but on a normal pond. If I close this right down to 2mm, it's going to stop a lot of the debris getting into the pond. Now, we shouldn't be too long now, and we'll be showing you the fish, so make sure you stick around if you want to see what special fish are going in this pond. And I'm telling you now, it is some special fish. There's not your average stuff going in here. Now, let's get some water in here. Right then, so now we have the fish. We're going to put them in this water and they're going to acclimate in here. I'll leave this now for 20 minutes, half an hour, probably by the time I've had a brew. And then we're going to start adding some of the pond water into the water the fish are already in. Slowly acclimatising these fish. They've come a long way and they're worth a few quid, so we want to take our time with it. Yeah, come back and soon you'll see the fish. So, the fish have been in here a while now. We want to add some of the water into the bag. And I've used metal staples or a metal tie to tie these bags, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult than flinging the elastic band like we normally do off the top. We're almost able to get a look at these fish now. They're going to be in this pond. So, as I'm not going to be able to do this without running off and grabbing some tools to take that off, we're just going to make a small hole in the side. Now, all we're going to do is add some water into the bag so that maybe 5% of the water is now pond water, and then we'll give it 10-15 minutes and then we'll add a bit more and a bit more, and eventually most of the water will be the same as the pond water and the fish haven't had such a big shock. Now, do you need to be this in depth every time? Probably not, you know, especially with some hardier species like goldfish and that, but when it's somebody else's fish and somebody else's money, it's definitely worth taking your time with it. So, as we did before, we're just going to add some more water in here. We're almost getting to the point where we're going to put these fish in here, take a look at them, see how they're doing, show you guys what they look like, then put them in the big pond. Okay, so as we said before, it's very windy. Hopefully the mic's not picking it up and you can still hear me nice and clear. So, let's look at putting some fish in. So, what fish have we got and why? So firstly, we've got some golden rudd, 6 golden rudd. And these fish are, I mean, they're beautiful fish anyway. There's one, that's a nice size, if you can pick that up. Let's put him in first. These fish are surface feeders more than anything, and they will eat a lot of this duckweed. Don't know if they'll ever combat it, but they'll definitely make a dint. We have the biggest boy in here, which is an albino grass carp, if we can get him out for you. Now, there is 3 grass carp in total going into this pond. 1 albino and 2 of the normal common grass carp. We have some common carp. We have some mirror carp. We have some green tench and some beautiful golden tench. Let me get one of those to show you. Oh, and golden AEROHE. Look at that. So we've got 4 golden AEROHE and 2 of these blue AEROHE, which are really big and feisty. Putting up a fight. There's the blue AEROHE. Look at that. These fish are going to love it in this water. It's very natural. I know on one of our older videos, which blew up, I think it's over 1.2 million at the minute, draining the abandoned koi pond, a lot of you guys commented that you didn't like that sort of pond because it wasn't natural for the fish and stuff. And each to their own. Some people prefer that. But if you're into a more natural pond, this is the type of pond you want to get. So the last of this fish in here now, the tench and the carp. Let's get them. And we've shown you enough, we'll just tip them in. We'll probably show you as they come out into the big pond anyway. The common carp in there are very small actually, but the blue AEROHE and stuff are larger than what we bought as well, so I suppose it all works out. But yeah, these were shipped over today. We got them this morning, took about 24 hours from our supplier, and that's why we're taking our time with these fish now. We'll get a closer look soon. Okay, so this is the exciting part now. We're going to get the fish out the temporary holding pond, and we're going to put them in the pool. Let's see if they're going to be easy to catch, but I think for now, I'll drop the water level in the pool, and let's catch some fish. I normally use the this little Blagden net, it's brilliant to whip round, but I think in this instance, I'll use this Oase one. It's a bit larger, because the water's not very clear, I can't really see what I'm fishing for that well. So with this having a larger surface area, we'll catch them a lot easier. Whoa. As suspected, a good pile of fish. There's a grass carp. Ooh. Golden mud. Go on then guys, you swim off. And let's keep catching. Common carp. Green tench. I'm still waiting to catch the big boy, the albino grass carp. Now these fish, these golden rudd, are absolutely stunning, and they're all a little bit different as well. Let's get them in the water quick. They're just swimming off under the surface. Much larger golden rudd. You go that way, buddy. they're off. Still not found this albino grass carp yet, but he is in here, and I don't know how he's managed to hide so well, because he should stand out because of his colouring. Rid of that duckweed. Another golden rudd. Beautiful fish. So what I'm doing is I'm actually putting them a bit further out, chucking them a little bit I suppose, but they're fine with it, don't worry, they're landing on water. Because if I put them too close to the edge, it's a bit shallow for them to swim off, that's all. So we're just kicking them out by a foot or two. These are, if you can see them, two of the common carp. Not a bad size, quite pretty fish. These will thrive in here. Ah! Here's the big guy. An albino grass carp. What an absolute stunner of a fish. Let's get him in quick because he's flopping all over the place. And then you swim off then, buddy. Didn't want to leave the net. So they'll go off and they will they'll find some deeper water. One of the golden AEROHE and one of the mirror carp. Oh, the mirror carp is quite interesting. Where is he? You go over there, buddy. Just landed on a branch. Not very many scales at all. Quite almost clear, with just a couple of scales on his side. Is it a linear-sided carp? The fisherman amongst you will know. Apple-sided, maybe. I've heard that word bandied about. But sort of less of the larger scales on it. Oh, this is one I don't know if you've seen properly. The blue AEROHE. Good sized fish. And something a little bit different to your golden AEROHEs. So I'll catch the last few of these now. There's a couple of little tiddlers, some of them are quite small. I think there's another mirror carp still in here, and some of the golden AEROHE are a bit smaller as well. And they're evading me so far, so we'll cut back once I've caught them all, otherwise we'll be here all day. Now you wouldn't believe it, because the water was so mucky, there's still quite a few fish here that we weren't able to catch. So let's have a look. This blue AEROHE first of all. You can go in. Golden AEROHE. It seems to be all the AEROHEs that were the hardest to catch. Golden rudd. They've just all ended up in this corner here where there was a bit of a low point in the water. Another golden AEROHE. Beautiful fish. Now, is there any more before we get the vac in? Oh, that's quite a small golden there. And I think that should be it, but I will let you watch me with the last bit of the pond vac on it. You tell me if I've missed any. We'll go nice and careful, just in case. Well, that's good, we're clear. So that's us done for now at the secret fishing lake. I'm sure we'll be back at some point. I'm sure the owner Brian and his family will invite us back and we can get a good look at how the fish are getting on and how they're growing. Maybe even do a bit of fishing for some grass carp and some of the commons and mirrors that are in here. But for today, we'll leave it there. All the fish are in the pond. All the fish are doing very well. I'm sure years to come, these fish are going to be quite substantial. They're all going to keep growing. It's a beautiful natural pond here in the Welsh countryside. We'll see you in the next one, everyone. Bye.